Craft service. Today's tutorial is on craft service. Now this isn't a very exciting tutorial, but if you don't do it and don't master the art of craft service, you have your actors and everyone mad. So it's so important that you feed your actors, especially if you're not paying your actors. I know a lot of people are on budgets, but if you can afford to pay them, awesome, but if you can't, you have to have food, otherwise they're not going to be happy. Now this is a bigger shoot, a more professional shoot. We usually do the craft service ourselves, but because we had a budget to actually do things right, we actually hired a professional craft service, so they actually have legit food. So you're probably wondering what's on the menu. Well, we got potatoes, bacon. Everyone loves bacon. You can't go wrong with that. You always have to have fruit, and you always have to have junk food. Those are kind of always the requirements. But you also want to have healthy food, and you also have to make sure if you have vegans, you have stuff for vegan, because nowadays everyone's vegan. So shout out to all the vegans out there. I myself am not vegan. I like meat, but teach their own. And that's kind of what craft service is. Now you're probably wondering, why is it called craft service? I don't even know why they call it craft service. I just know that that's what everyone calls it in the film world. Most people just say food, but they call it craft service in the actual Hollywood movie world. So that's kind of what you have to do, kind of lower your standards to do that. So that is a quick tutorial today on craft service. It is crucial though for your productions, and if you can go all out on your food, it's so important, because if everyone's happy on set, that usually comes down to the food. So make that a priority with everything that you do. And there you have it. Now, different states, they have different rules. In LA or in California, they have a rule where you have to feed people every 6 hours. If you don't do that, you can actually get fined. In Utah, we don't have that rule. We just have people work all day without any food. Not true, but kind of true. We usually have people snack, and if you're like super rushed, when we're filming in Utah, we're kind of eating on the go. So there is no slow down, because time is money. So you kind of have to work around the state or country with the different rules that they have set. Especially if it's a bigger production. If it's just a low-key thing, you can get away with it if you want, and that's what we have done in the past. So that is my experience with craft service. Back in the day when I was starting making movies, especially in film school, I was doing craft service on all the productions just because I wanted a foot in the door. And for me, starting out, craft service was one of the ways I got into a lot of shoots, and then I worked my way up to PA and everything else. So just learn as much as you can about everyone's position, and that gives you bigger opportunities to do what you want to do. So what you see right now, this is actually on a small scale from a professional movie set. So we had to be somewhat professional, but unlike the full-on Hollywood budgets where you have 200, 300 people, they'll actually bring in like gigantic catering trucks, and they'll actually a lot of times have different options. They'll have like the taco stand and the lasagna stand, or Italian stand, I guess is the right word, the technical word. But bigger scale productions, they have bigger budgets to give you a better experience. I'm happy with this experience. I'm not picky, but I've been on big sets. I actually got to go on the Assassin's Creed movie set in Malta, and that was a full-scale thing where they just had tables of food as far as the eye could see. They had a gigantic they had a gigantic tent the size of this entire space where everyone was eating together. So those are always really cool, but so much goes into craft service, into food. You see these amazing productions, but you don't think, how does everyone eat? Well, they do eat. They just have to do it. I don't know where I was going with that. But with that being said, that is our tutorial on craft service. So important. Make your craft service based on the scale, your budget, and your production, and go all out with it. Thanks so much for watching. Over and out.
Wham, bam, super tramp, and I tipping up my hat while I boost the fans, and I hover up top, can you feel the noise? All the girls scream now cause they want the boys. Yo, making all the clouds looking like a big joke when I run so fast and I sing so low, and you never wanna mess with me. You're just testing me, I just set me free, so just stop. We cool, we hot, we freshin', we know we all confessin'.